GearNetwork.com.
The following is a presentation of the Gear Radio Network.
Hello, good morning. This is the former governor of California, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and you are listening to Chaz and Jay on the Fantasy Football Bros podcast. These guys, they're so funny, and they're going to help you win some money. Hey, that rhymed.
Here we go. Hey, everything on three. Number three. Win on one. Oh, win on three. 1, 2, 3. Win it. I have mixed up in that. Eyes on three. Everything on 3. 1. Everything.
You are now listening to the Fantasy Football Bros podcast.
Go smoke. Tell us about that. Welcome back, everybody, to the Fantasy Football Bros podcast. It's your boy, all I do is win, no matter what. Chaz, and with me to my virtual right, we got the no nickname, no nonsense.
Yes, sir. What's up, boys?
What's up, Adam? How are you doing? We'll get to our weather situations in a moment. How are you?
I'm good, man. I live it. It's fine for me.
And we got some weather to talk about because joining us is virtual right. We got the fantasy football surgeon himself, Zags. What's up, Zags?
What is up, boys? I love how Adam's like, yo, I live it, and like he is in a place where there's no snow in sight.
Oh no,
Dude, I got 8 inches.
Got
8 inches of snow the other day.
Oh snap! Really?
Not even, dude. Yeah, just shut the whole city down. Done.
Oh, I believe
everything's
it.
everything iced over. Everything. It's crazy.
While we are in Buffalo, and Dave's in the North Town, but I'm in the South Town, so I get it hammered a lot more than Dave does, I'm sure. So how's your weather up by you? Hey, what's up, dog?
I can't hear you, dummies, but go Bills.
Good.
Oh, here we go. Tap me in.
We heard your city is shut down from 8 inches of snow right now.
Yeah, they don't know what the fuck to do around here, man.
It's crazy.
They really don't. It's insane. No, this is a true story. I took an Uber to my show tonight. I got in the back of the Uber. This girl's in a Lincoln, front wheel drive, and I had to get out of the car and push the car. I had to get out of my Uber. That's not even a joke.
Dude.
I had to get out of the Uber and push my Uber to my show.
Add a link.
You should see. You should actually see the amount of cars like just stranded on the side of the road. It's so funny.
They don't know
Whoa, there he is.
Oh, there he is.
Holy shit.
What's up, Jay? What's up?
He made it.
He made it. We're joined by, so if anyone didn't know that other voice, we were all of a sudden joined by country music superstar Eric Van Houten.
I just finished playing a show in front of 72 people that braved the cold weather here in Nashville.
A Wednesday night show in a blizzard in Nashville.
In a blizzard, yeah, it was pretty wild.
An 8 inch of snow.
Here's my problem with this. Chaz, you got a hell of a setup.
Thank you.
Zaggy Boy's got a hell of a setup. The man, the myth, and my brother are just slacking, man.
Well, I mean, what do you want me to do, man?
Slack. Like, put up something back here.
It's your office.
You live here too, dumbass.
Technically, it's my office. I'm the only one I'm literally the only one that's in here. I'll figure it out eventually, but But here we are for now.
Like, turn the desk. Get this thing in the background.
For now, we're good.
We see your guitar back there at least.
Yeah, I got, a couple guitars.
That thing's done a lot of damage on the streets of the USA.
I'm coming to see you guys soon.
He's saving the space for the Buffalo Bills Super Bowl championship poster that will be going up.
That's right. That's going up on the wall.
You bet your sweet ass I'm in Vegas if they get there.
Let's go.
I literally already temporarily booked a show. Not even kidding. We got a show at the Old Red, Blake Shelton's Old Red in Las Vegas.
Let's go.
The Bills backer bar? That's what it could
No, it's not a Bills bar.
It's just Blake Shelton's bar.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we'll make it if we make it down there.
Yeah, touche. What are you drinking there, Chaz?
I've got some Tito's and cherry 7-Up. I'm living.
You don't even drink, dude.
Yeah, okay. I don't remember my last trip to Nashville. So
Yeah, Chaz got a little toasty last time. We had a good time at the Bills game.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's been a pleasure, guys. Good luck talking football. I'm going to tell you the slate right now. Okay, I'm going to give everybody, all you bettors out there, here's the slate.
Oh, Dave, he's stealing your thunder. Sorry, dog.
No, it's okay.
Go for it, bro. Go for it.
This is my own personal one. Zachy's got his own.
Country music superstar Eric Van Houten's locks of the week. Let's go.
Locks of the week. We're taking Bills money line. You have to.
Okay.
I like the ball that they're playing, even against Mahomes. I know Mahomes is like, the guy in playoffs, but I feel like if there's any year to take him down, it's this year. I like the Bills. We're starting Sunday. We're going backwards. What's the Sunday afternoon game?
I don't know.
Oh Jesus! Not the other NFC game, not the Lions.
So that would be the
the Packers,
49ers.
No, it is Tampa Lions Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday afternoon. And I'm riding Baker Mayfield till I die.
Whoa! Okay.
Let's go.
He's made me some cheese this football season, and I just feel like he's got the nuts on him this year.
No, just kidding. We do have it's Tampa, Detroit. Sunday afternoon, and then
so I'm going backwards.
KC,
so I'm going Buffalo. I'm going Tampa money line.
Okay.
I'm taking over. I'm taking the over in the Green Bay San Fran because I just don't know if I just feel like Love might be able to pull it off, and if he doesn't, they're going to score a lot of points.
Well, remember,
I'm teasing it to 48.5, and I'm riding it.
Remember this, Eric. All you need is love. That's all you need. That's all you need.
Yeah, and it's Baker Mayfield. And then what's the other game? Texans, Ravens.
Texans, Ravens, yeah.
And what is it, 9.5? Plus 9.5 for Texans?
Yeah.
God, man, CJ Stroud's just playing such good football. He just doesn't have the history, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but so is Lamar. So
you're looking at your rookie of the
you're looking at your rookie of the year against your NFL MVP, right? For that game.
Yeah, I might tease that to like 11.5. My 4-leg parlay would be 11.5 plus Texans, Baker Mayfield money line, Buffalo money line, over 48.5 in the Green Bay San Fran game.
Well, you heard it here first. Country music superstar Eric Van Houten's locks.
And Chaz, I'd like to make it known I won 3 of my 4 fantasy football leagues this year.
Hey, there you go. Here, you'll get this drop then.
That's right.
Have a good pod. Have a good pod. Love y'all.
Good to see you, Eric. Love it.
Bye, bye.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. We got joining the show, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jay Coleman. Jay Coleman, what's up, dog?
What's up?
We thought you fell asleep on us. So
No, I mean, I did say 10 o'clock, but none of you fucks ever pay attention to anything I say, so.
You came in 5 minutes in. You're
Fucking Dave's the only guy that responds to me, and it normally takes him 1 to 3 business days to respond to a text message.
That's so true. That's so true.
I'm not gonna lie. When you said might as well make it 10, I thought you were just being facetious.
No, I was being serious.
So I'm sorry. I'm. But you didn't miss much. I really thought you were like, because I was like 9:30. Actually 9:45. You're like, I thought it was more like, well, you might as well just make it 10.
No, I was watching something, and I was like, I'm not going to just stop watching it with 15 minutes left. So.
You're good. We're good. You didn't miss much.
That's okay. Chaz had to finish his game of NBA, so.
Yeah, no comment. I'm going to call Saints Joe out about NBA. Saints Joe, touch some grass, bro. Come on, man. Like, literally, this dude, like, I'm playing NBA against Saints Joe. We play a game, and, like, whatever. He ends up beating me by a couple points. We were playing, like, old school teams. I can't remember who we were. I think I was the 2000 Blazers, and he was, like, the 2005 something else. So we're playing old school teams. So then we decided to go into modern day teams, and I take the Bucks and he takes the Clippers, and he hit in a row like 2 or 3 3-pointers with a guy who has an F 3-point rating at 100% clip. He hit all 3 of these 3-pointers. I told him to touch grass, and I quit because that's just one of those like it was like 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes into the game. That's just one of those. I don't know how to play the game. I just know how to exploit the system. And that's not, you're never, ever going to see, I can't remember who it was. It was just some big, goofy center who's a backup, that has an F 3-point rating. He nailed 3-pointers in a row. So Saints Joe, touch grass, bro. Please, okay? Bro, I can't say go get a girlfriend because you have one, but like go touch grass then, please. Although we can't touch grass as we are because that's what we were talking about. Adam is Jay, you were here for this. Adam in Nashville is buried in 8 inches of snow.
Oh my God.
It's barely 8 inches. Like that's what fell. And like it's more because we don't have the equipment to like salt the roads or anything like that. So like the little bit of water, and it's super cold here right now, everything freezes. And because Nashville is like a hill, basically, like you should see the amount of cars that try to go up these hills and they just slide right back down. It's actually pretty funny.
Fucking pussies can't salt their roads.
Yeah, well, pretty much. Although I did see a salt truck today. I don't know where it came from, but we had one out there today.
To be fair to Adam, though, that he's got more snow than Amherst does. So I mean, fucking North Towns.
I'll take that.
Dave's a North Towns guy, so I don't know what you got. So what's your situation, Dave?
Adam's getting salt trucks from Canada. Them boys up there don't got enough snow. They're just bored. They got rid of all the snow, and now they're coming down south to do something.
They must have just drove.
It ain't that bad, man. I can see the street, so it's whatever.
Me and Chaz are second on the leaderboard for Buffalo currently.
No, we're first. I thought.
No, we were overtaken.
Okay. So mind you, so let's take it way back. Let's take it way back to Saturday night. Saturday night, we're recording this on Wednesday, by the way. So Saturday night's not a long time away. Saturday night, we started getting snow. We wake up Sunday morning hammered with about 3 feet, right? I would say. So bad that they had to move the Bills game from Sunday to Monday. So Sunday we're in a travel ban. Monday we're in a travel ban. People get down there, barely shovel out the stadium. And then the game happens. And then Tuesday happens. And then Tuesday overnight, we get hit with another 3 feet of snow. So Jay and I are buried underneath from the 2 days at least 6 feet of snow. And guess what's coming tonight, Jay?
Yeah, I know. Another like 1 to 3 feet. It's fucking great.
So
That's crazy.
But Hamburg is number 1 and Lackawanna is number 2, and it's only by like a difference of 3 inches.
Yeah. So we're getting buried again
fucking
tonight.
Great.
But too bad you two white collar boys can probably work from home. I know Dave has to. What about
I sure can.
You can?
I sure can. Actually, it's funny because we got all the snow and like I was fully prepared to just drive through it and get to work Monday. My whole team that I work with texted me and were like, "Yeah, we can't get out of our driveways." I'm like, "Well, if you're not going in, I'm not going in. I'll just work from home all day. I don't care." So that's what I did. Worked from home.
And what about your main job, Jay? Can you work from home?
Yeah.
Ha! Well, I don't want to say ha because, I own a restaurant and we're closed today and probably tomorrow, which sucks for the bottom line, but it's nice to have a little extra time off as well. So there's that. So, Jay, I want to recall your experience because you were at the game on Sunday or Monday. So tell me how was it? How was the stadium? How was all the snow?
It wasn't bad. I mean, they didn't do a great job of clearing things, but I guess
they only had like 10 guys with a shovel.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I saw that there was only like 30 people that showed up to the stadium.
So
and they stopped clearing the seats.
Yeah, so apparently they needed like 100 people. They only had 30, and they were in danger of having to relocate the game last minute if they didn't clear enough of the walkways. Apparently, like, I don't know if it would have been the county or whatever, wouldn't have let the game go on. So like they were desperate to clear the aisles, and they weren't even cleared that good. Like people were just like sitting down and just like going down the walkway because it was like so covered with snow that like people were falling. So they're like, we're just gonna sit and just slide down.
Wow.
To the seats. So, but
That's crazy.
It was pretty good. It was kind of cold.
It looked pretty
Yeah,
packed.
it was packed.
I was noticing from the radio and stuff there was a problem. What people don't realize, like parking situation. So when you get all that snow, a lot of that snow you have to pile up, which takes away a lot of parking spots, and plus it takes away all the private lots because there's a lot of homes near our stadium that people park on their front lawns and stuff. Well, those are all buried in 3 feet of snow too. So, like, I mean, I heard people on the radio right at kickoff before I switched over to watch the game that are like, I have not moved in like an hour and a half. There's no parking. We can't get to the game. This is ridiculous. And so that's like horrible.
Yeah. I'm sure it was a disaster for most people for parking.
That's crazy.
You got one more game to go at least.
I know. They better get people in there all week trying to clear that stadium out from the snow this weekend. Or today, tomorrow.
The snow was so bad that they actually did a shuttle for the first time ever that I know, a fucking shuttle to get you to the game because of the snow.
They had people park over at the mall, the old Sears store, which is closed, and we're shuttling people to the stadium.
That's crazy.
Sears store, which is actually a good idea. They should do that in general.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
For say the people like me, like Jay gets there, Jay tailgates all day. Me, sometimes I tailgate, sometimes I don't. If I want to go to a game, I would love to just show up at the shuttle at noon and get to the stadium at 12:30 and not have to worry about it. That'd be fantastic. But maybe that's what they're gonna have to do. Oh, plus we're also short on parking here because we're building a stadium across the street that takes up a bunch of parking lots. So it was just bad down there. So, so I hope everyone that's listening that's from the Buffalo area is safe and warm. And you know, if you're digging yourself out, good luck. There's another 3 feet coming if you're near us. So that sucks. So we had some football this weekend, boys.
We did.
We took a week off. So I want to first congratulate Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines for being the champs. Good on them. They deserved it. They crushed Washington.
They did.
Money on
Washington?
Over Washington.
Yeah, Washington.
And we missed a lot, guys. We missed a lot of coaching changes and everything. So, Jay, I want you to look up all the recent coaching firings so we don't miss any. But my take on the national championship is Michigan was the team to beat this year. And I said it after they took down Alabama, even against the referees. I said that's it. They won. That was the national championship with Alabama, Michigan. That was their national championship because they took care of Washington easily. There's rumors that Jim Harbaugh is going to go to the NFL. No way. There's no way he's going to go to the NFL. He tried it. He lost the Super Bowl. He had the San Francisco job. He has the fucking Michigan job. Michigan's a top 5 destination coach in college football. What is he going to leave that to go coach Seattle, Washington? No, I don't see that. Maybe Dallas is the only thing if that happens. But he's not fired. He's not getting fired now.
Yeah, they said today that he's not getting fired.
So. Yeah, so that's my take on that, and a lot of good players coming off that Michigan team to watch for your draft preview, and that's coming. So you guys have any words on Michigan, or should we go to the coach firings? You guys have to.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I was a Michigan fan when I was a kid, but other than that, I didn't have any skin in the game. I'm not a big college guy. I don't even know where to bet, just because there's so many games every Saturday during college football season, and it just, so I just watched it and enjoyed it as a football fan, and that was it. But I mean, good for Harbaugh. He accomplished what he wanted to, I guess, is win a national championship. So other than that,
beat Ohio State 3 years in a row. That's
true.
Pretty big.
Yeah, big rivalry there. But other than that, good for them. Couldn't care less though.
Anything from me?
I'm going to get so much hate from all the Michigan fans.
Well, as you boys know, I'm a bit of a fucking degenerate, so I did obviously have some skin in the game, and I just want to thank Mr. Harbaugh and the Michigan boys for covering that -5 spread like a fucking boss.
20? What did they win by? 25?
They won by more than 5 and a lot more than 5, so that's all I really care about. But yeah, I think they won by 20. Yeah, it was great. Yeah. It was a great game.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good players coming out. You got to watch out for J.J. McCarthy. Probably going to be a top, a first round quarterback pick. You got a lot of the, the defensive line for Michigan. Always are getting drafted in the first, second round. You got to watch out for the running back Blake Corum. That guy's going to be second, third round pick. So
both of their Both of the running backs are better than advertised.
Yeah, very, very true. And a lot of people just want to talk about J.J. McCarthy because he's the quarterback, but Blake Corum won them that Alabama game single-handedly in the overtime. So, like, he's going to be something too. So, all right. So, Jay, what coach firings have we had so far? Or what are the openings, rather?
Well, I did the firings, so but I guess
the same thing because Pete Carroll.
Well, we got the Pats, we got the Seahawks, the Titans, Commanders, Falcons,
Chargers.
Yeah, Chargers.
Because that was in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
There was somebody else in the middle of the season. Raiders.
Carolina.
Yep.
Yeah, technically the Raiders.
Yeah.
And the
Saints fired their entire offensive coaching staff, and another team did too. I forget who.
Not Dennis Allen. Ridiculous. All right, so I'll start with you, Dave. You're the head coach. Which you can pick any team. Which team are you taking?
Chargers.
You're taking the Chargers. What about you, Adam?
That's a tough one for me. I want to say the Chargers only because they have a quarterback, but I think I would go Atlanta would be one of my top picks, and the reason being is because of Bijan Robinson, Drake London, who kind of came on this year, but they don't have a quarterback. So find a quarterback, and I think they're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, but I'm assuming, Jay, you're saying the Chargers.
Yeah, I think they got the most upside.
I'm with Adam. I think it's.
But see, here's my thing with the Chargers, and you have Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, who are both in their 30s now. You have Austin Eckler, who's not going to be there next year.
Oh, hang on, I got extra up for him.
I mean, running backs are a dime a dozen.
Right, that's what I mean. But they don't have anything behind Austin Eckler either, because Joshua Kelly wasn't great. Isaiah Spiller has amounted to nothing. But
you said right. Atlanta, you're bringing it. You come into Atlanta, you have a great receiver already, untapped potential.
I didn't even say Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, untapped potential of Kyle Pitts. And you have untapped potential. You have an entire offense.
Don't get started on this fucking bullshit of Kyle Pitts is going to be good next year, because you've been saying that for like 5 years.
And he's been stuck with Arthur Smith for 5 years. No, 3 years. So, like, I mean, if you want to deny talent, but like that, I would love to walk into that scenario.
I mean, you can't say he's got talent when he hasn't produced enough. So, I mean, I guess you can say potentially, but
right. It's all potential, because Arthur Smith was dog water. And then I see they're interviewing fucking Bill Belichick. Like, get out of here. Like, that's going to be the same position. I mean, Bill Belichick.
Well, here's the thing with Belichick, man. Belichick wants to go to a team where they're going to let him run it, like he did with the Patriots for 25 years. So the Chargers are out. Dallas was out, even though they kept McCarthy. Jerry Jones is on the sideline more than any owner in the league. Yeah. There's no way he would have let Belichick run that team. He runs that team. And, like, nobody wants to go to fucking Carolina. That situation is just an absolute disaster. I mean, could he go to Atlanta and turn things around? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, he had dog shit quarterbacks in New England, and he didn't do anything with them, but they're also bad. I mean, at least Taylor Heineke showed some potential, but
Bill Belichick made the playoffs with Mac Jones 2 years.
He did 1 year, I know.
So, I mean, to be fair. So, Dave, why are you taking the Chargers over Atlanta?
I think you got to look at it from a position of like actually being a head coach, right? And if you take these jobs, what do you think the shelf life is here on these jobs? You probably got like 3 years to turn it around, right?
Yeah.
Max.
Yeah, 3 years max. Lately,
unless you're Carolina's head coach, you only got about 6 games.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the last couple of years, coaches seem to be getting fired like into their first year, and it's like, what the fuck?
I don't think a coach has made it to the end of the season in the last 3 years in Carolina. Anyway, we're talking about the Chargers.
And I think you can say what you want about Justin Herbert. He wasn't great this season. But I think of the quarterbacks of the teams that are available, he definitely has the most upside and definitely the most long-term upside. And I think if you're going into a situation where it's like you want to take over a head coaching job. And we've seen this with Josh. It's like, if you have a quarterback, you can build the team around the quarterback. But if you go into a situation like Atlanta, it's like you have to be a good coach and you have to be lucky, because they're going to have to find a starting quarterback within the next 2 years, or it's most likely not going to turn around. Where if you go into a situation like the Chargers, like, you probably just have to be a good coach, because the framework is there, I think.
Here's where I argue that, and I get both sides of it. But like, Atlanta was one game away from the playoffs, and the thing is that if you put on this roster, because Atlanta's got a pretty good defense and all this like possible talent on offense that was never used right, in my opinion. So if Atlanta has Kirk Cousins, are they a playoff team over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I don't know if that's a good example, because coming back from the injury and like also
in general, the person. If this year, we won't talk about him coming off injury, but if say Kirk Cousins started this past year for Atlanta, they're easily a playoff team, I think.
I would say they're a favorite to make the playoffs, but I wouldn't call it a lock with Kirk Cousins.
Okay. I mean, I think that when Kirk Cousins to me is the most mid quarterback. Like, I would never call Kirk Cousins a game manager. He's just a step above a game manager.
Yeah.
Like, Kirk Cousins could win you a game, maybe, kind of thing. So to me, like, so say they get somebody in the Kirk Cousins role, I don't know who that person would be. It could be Kirk Cousins. They could be a playoff team, and they could draft J.J. McCarthy and hopefully get him to develop, because Atlanta hasn't spent any capital lately on a quarterback. I mean, they have Desmond Ridder. I think he was third or fourth round. I mean, some capital. But if you're going to go in and there's probably going to be 5-6 quarterbacks drafted in the first, I would say, 50 picks this year. I would say between first and second, mid-second round, there's going to be about 5-6 quarterbacks. I mean, just going to go off the top of my head. Got Caleb Williams, Drake May, J.J. McCarthy, Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels. That's 5 of them. And I'm missing somebody that's 6. So there's going to be 6 people in the top 5. So say they take Jaden Daniels. They're picking in the top 10. Jaden Daniels coming off winning a Heisman Trophy, right? And he is more on the lines of Lamar Jackson, a kind of running quarterback. So that kind of hurts their weapons, per se, because they're not going to get Drake May sitting down there. Maybe even they might be able to get J.J. McCarthy, but J.J. McCarthy's he needs a little work. So say they end up with Jaden Daniels. I mean, he's got to be better than what they've had. And like, if he just goes in there and plays competently, we saw how bad the Saints are. We saw how bad the Panthers are. And yeah, the Bucs won the division, but not convincingly. So like, that's where I am with them.
I get it. I mean, I totally get it. I think, and again, this goes back to our draft strategy, right? It's like you know me as a draft. When in a draft, I'm a safe guy. I'm a safe pick guy. You're more of a go out there and like swing for the fences kind of guy. And I think that's kind of we're still kind of having that same mentality. It's like I get it, but also let's just say like the Chargers end up grabbing Derrick Henry and Keenan Allen comes back and he's fine, and the Chargers end up drafting a wide receiver that like actually doesn't suck ass. Okay, like what's a better situation?
Yeah, so I'm kind of with Dave on, and here's where I look at it too: is both defenses performed probably about equally, but if you go to Atlanta, you're betting on Bijan, which running backs have the lowest career span, so you're only going to get relatively short period of years, most likely.
Yeah, but he's still got 6-7 years.
But still, you're a small window, so you're already operating on a small window, and then the hopes of the other offensive players being potentially good.
Yeah, but you know what else you have to deal with, Jay, is Patrick Mahomes 2 times a year.
Yeah. But and if you go to the Chargers,
he didn't have the greatest season this year, though. So is he already on the decline? Probably, but he's they still beat. Yeah. Here's a question though. So we're talking about the Atlanta Falcons. And you asked Chaz if they had a quarterback. Here's the free agent quarterback list going into next year, right? If they don't end up drafting one. Kirk Cousins, Ryan Tannehill, Jacoby Brissett, Tyrod Taylor, Marcus Mariota, Sam Darnold, Jameis Winston, Drew Lock, Baker Mayfield, Gardner Minshew, Teddy Bridgewater, Joe Flacco, Josh Dobbs, Easton Stick, Carson Wentz, Mason Rudolph, Jake Browning.
Can we just take Easton Stick off of that list from now until the end of time, please?
Yeah, because
I know. The only reason why I threw him on there was because he started the last few games for the Chargers when Herbert went down. So of those quarterbacks that I listed, like, do any of them make Atlanta a contender? Not a Super Bowl contender, but a contender of like being able to win games. They already mentioned Kirk Cousins.
They were a contender up until the last week of the season with whatever they were throwing out there. So if you put Kirk Cousins, if you put Baker on that team, if you put Tyrod on that team, I think they're still a contender. Those are upgrades over what they had at least. I mean, Jake Browning was kind of showing off a little bit. I don't know if I buy into it, but can't be any worse. So
free
my
boy James.
What do you
Winston.
think, Dave?
That dude.
You're right.
There you go.
The other one I forgot about. Jameis.
What do you think, Jay?
I mean, yeah, probably a couple of them might, but
Absolutely. And then there's always a chance.
I'm still saying that there's way more upside with the Chargers. You got two proven wide receivers. You got you know a QB is good.
Small window. Fuck. Keenan Allen's 33.
Yeah. But also the Chargers can make it in a smaller window than Atlanta. You're going to need more pieces for Atlanta.
It's just hard to say. They got Patrick Mahomes in there. Atlanta's got Derek Carr.
Coming from the guy who's betting on Kyle Pitts being good after 5 years. And you're trying to say like, oh, that's a big task right there with the Chargers. Come on.
No, I just think if you're talking about a path of least resistance, and if you want to come into a place and be like, well, we made the playoffs, you're going into Atlanta with all those offensive weapons, a decent defense, and you have to worry about Derek Carr, Bryce Young, and Baker Mayfield as of now. I'm taking that over Patrick Mahomes against me, and Seattle, not Seattle. Who do they have? Denver. Okay, Denver's shitty. Raiders are shitty, but you still got to worry about Patrick Mahomes.
Herbert can also like throw like 40 touchdowns, and I don't think Ritter is going to be throwing 40 touchdowns. So
it's interesting.
No, but Kirk Cousins is throwing 40 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's assuming they get him.
But they don't have.
I mean,
what if they get James?
My point was I'm still on the Atlanta train on that, and the reason being is because of the old receivers that they have, and we don't know how much longer that they have. Right, Mike Williams is in his 30s, Keenan Allen's in his 30s, and Eckler is 30 and is not. He's a free agent. He's not going to be on the team anymore.
And after 1 year, Quinton Johnston is.
Which he's
it's been 1 year.
He's the youngest receiver.
Yeah, let's give him at least 5 like Kyle Pitts gets.
And I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that they have Quentin Johnston long term, right? So really, what you're looking at is Justin Herbert, Quentin Johnston, right? That's your quarterback receiver combo. No running back, and I'm also doing this assuming that Keenan Allen doesn't have much longer either, and neither does Mike Williams. So I still think Atlanta, for me, and you're right, Jay, and I don't disagree with you that players have not been good, right? Kyle Pitts has not been good, even though he's had 1,000-yard seasons with dog shit, right? Minus Matt Ryan, who was probably the best quarterback that they've had in the last 5 years. 3 years even.
Yeah, it's just the untapped potential. So I hope they go and sign an offensive head coach. I hope it's not Bill Belichick. I hope I don't know who is out there. I hope it's, people talk about Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator from Detroit. He's done a good job with the Detroit's offense. So maybe it's Ben Johnson. Maybe it's somebody from college. Maybe it's Jim Harbaugh. Who the fuck knows? But
imagine.
I just don't know.
I mean, listen, I don't disagree with the Chargers either. And I do like the fact that they have a quarterback already established there, right? So get them some weapons, Listen, I'll tell you what, if they sign Michael Pittman in the offseason, I'm 100% Chargers.
they don't have the money for that. They have the highest.
No, they don't, because it's in Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler. Well, it wasn't Austin Eckler, but now it's in Justin Herbert.
The two receivers and Keenan
Allen and Mike Williams.
I think is Justin's. No, Patrick is now, but Justin Herbert's a top 2 paid quarterback in the NFL. It's the problem the Bills are running into. Bills aren't going to go out and sign a big free agent wide receiver because they don't have the money. So, I mean, it's just...
Yeah, because we're paying fucking Von Miller a gazillion dollars to do nothing.
Hey, he had some pressure. I saw him pressure him. He's made what? Like, does he have a sack this year?
I think he did in the... Actually, I don't think he does.
Didn't Gabe Davis have more tackles than Von Miller does this year?
That was a game for sure. Well, Von doesn't get a lot of tackles because he's a pass rusher per se, so it's more of like sacks.
It's a wide receiver again.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. The Bills, yeah, we're not talking about that. It was an interesting topic I wanted.
He has 0 sacks on the season.
Okay, so we're paying Von Miller way more than $26 million a sack.
Yeah, and he has 2 solo tackles.
Yeah. For what, 40
three combo tackle. Yeah, 3 combined. Combined solo assisted tackles. 3.
Well, you know where he is. He's headed to possibly the 3rd round of the playoffs. So let's hope that go. And speaking of the playoffs, we heard country music superstar Eric Van Houten's prediction. So let's take it one by one with you. Start with you, Dave. Texans at the Ravens. I'm not talking about spreads per se. What do you like in this game?
My gut says that this game is going to be a lot closer than. Wait,
before you answer it though, there's an upset every week, right? So keep that in mind, everybody. There's an upset every week. What is that upset going to be? So
I went 5 of 6 last week. So the only game that I got wrong last week was the Dolphins, who just blew it in Kansas City. But I thought they would cover. But I think this game, I think Baltimore wins this game. But I think CJ Stroud keeps it a lot closer than people are thinking. I mean, people are saying that this is like, if you look at a 9.5 point spread, that's a blowout, and I don't think this is going to be a blowout. I do think Baltimore wins this game if Lamar stays healthy. But I do think the Texans keep it pretty close.
All right, Jay, what's your take?
I agree. I think it's going to be close too, but I think it's probably going to be Baltimore.
Okay, and Adam,
I'm kind of on the Dave train here. I really do think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. My gut is telling me Baltimore because, man, they were just scary at the end of the season. But that bye week always makes me nervous. When teams have a bye week,
yeah.
I want to take, and I would take the points for the spread. I would take Houston plus 9.5. But overall winner, I think it's going to be close. But I do think the Ravens are going to win.
All right,
I want to see a good game because I really like CJ Stroud.
And I'm going to be, I guess, opposite of you guys, where I think it's going to be the Ravens, and I don't think it's going to be particularly close. And the reason I say that is they beat the Browns, and I don't think the Browns are that good. And I don't care that they beat Joe Flacco and their backup running back, and Myles Garrett had no pressures or anything. So I don't care about that game. And I really don't care that the Texans beat up on the Colts and the Jets and the Texans and the Jaguars and the Bengals. So here's the thing. Oh my God, the Texans are on a big run to make the playoffs. Well, here's their last few games, guys, and I'm just trying to play it fair. Their last few games of the year, we just got them into the playoffs, and I'll give them all the credit in the world. They beat the Colts, the Titans, the Jets, the Broncos, the Jaguars, the Cardinals, the Bengals. I'm not that impressed with beating those teams. So you beat the Browns, and that's cool. And the Browns aren't as good as they were playing. Joe Flacco was playing great, but great, they beat the Browns. Baltimore has been the best team in the AFC this whole year. And I think it's just 2 different classes of teams right now. And it's not to say anything bad about CJ Stroud. It's just it's 2 different classes of teams. So I think it is a blowout. And like Dave said, 9 points is a blowout. So I think it's a double-digit win. So we're all taking the Ravens. Yep. You guys think it's closer. I don't think it's so close, right? So,
okay. All four of us could have been more wrong about not wanting a Texans wide receiver this year, though. That's for sure.
True. Damn right. You are damn right. So, like I said, everything I said was nothing bad about C.J. Stroud and how they played, but the Ravens are a different class than those teams they just beat.
I was actually having this discussion with my brother. Where are we putting Nico Collins next year? Where is Nico Collins getting drafted next year? Because the dude has been an absolute stud, and it's like, is he? But he wasn't consistent. Right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, do you just deny that talent because it's Nico Collins, and you're like, I'm not taking him where he should go, or like, does he deserve to be in that spot?
Yeah, I mean, they were all good. I mean, Tank Dell was a monster before he got hurt too, and Nico Collins. I
put him in the range of Michael Pittman. I think Michael Pittman was actually better. But
for sure, Michael Pittman was on a tear for a while.
Yeah.
So here's my question to you, Chaz, on the point of the Texans not playing anybody. Look, do you want to go through who Jordan Love played? Chicago. They beat New Orleans. They beat the Rams. They beat the Chargers, Detroit, Kansas City. Okay. So then they beat Carolina, Minnesota, Chicago to end the season. Like, they're in the same situation, but you can't get enough of Jordan Love.
And I'm picking Jordan Love to win this next game. I'm expecting San Francisco to choke in the playoffs, and I'm just going to buy it this week. And I'm going to buy.
My point is you can't pick Jordan Love and then say C.J. Stroud's going to get blown out.
It's not against C.J. Stroud. Don't get butthurt that I'm saying that the Texans are.
I'm not butthurt at all. I'm just asking questions.
The Texans and Ravens are a different class of organizations right now, and you could say the same thing as the Niners and the Packers, which is the next game we're going to discuss. But I just said it. There's always an upset. There's an upset every week almost, and I think this is going to be the upset because I totally expect the 49ers to choke like they do every year in the playoffs. Everyone said that about Dallas, and guess what Dallas did? Dallas choked in the playoffs. I've always said that about the 49ers. They have been one of the best teams in the NFL for the last 5 years, and they made the Super Bowl one time. Okay, fair. But I don't look them as any different as the Packers with, like, Rodgers back in the day. Whenever, like 3 years ago, whenever Rodgers, oh, my God, the Packers are coming into the playoffs, they're going to choke and lose, and they do all the time. And I just feel that way with the 49ers. So there's going to be an upset, I feel. The upset's either going to come from the Texans, the Packers, or the Bucs, because the Bills and Chiefs, there's not going to be an upset either way in that game. So one of these lower-seeded teams, the Texans, the Packers, or the Bucs, are going to win this week, folks. One of them are going to win. That is my stone-cold lock of the week. I mean, do you guys, like, before we get into the picks, like, I mean, it's possible, right, that one of these three underdogs win, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's possible all three of them could win.
Sure. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't count the Chiefs-Bills game because whoever wins that game is not necessarily an underdog. But you're looking at these three games like the Ravens are going to win, the 49ers are going to win, the Lions are going to win. But I don't think that's the case. There's going to be an upset. And for my pick of this game officially, I'm going to roll with the Packers. They're hot. And I just expect the 49ers at some point to choke. And the Packers are playing great. It's just everything you said. Yeah, the Packers are coming off an easy win. Jordan Love is hot. Aaron Jones had 3 rushing touchdowns this past week. Like, it wasn't just they dismantled the Cowboys as much as the Texans dismantled the Browns. The difference is the Browns were led by Joe Flacco, and the Cowboys are the number one offense in the NFL, right? So it's like they did dismantle a good team. They came off of a big playoff run. Yes, the Cowboys choke in the playoffs every year. So does San Francisco. So that's my pick. That's where I think the upset's going to be. So, Jay, what's your pick on this game?
Well, I'm going with your reasoning for the Baltimore game. I think this is two different classes of teams. Packers weren't even supposed to make the playoffs, and I don't think their weapons are anywhere near as good as the 49ers, so I'm taking the 49ers.
I mean, that's a fair assessment, but also you wanted to give fucking Nico Collins some love. Let's give the Packers receivers a little love.
I mean, yeah, for sure. But I still think Debo is...
Sure, absolutely.
Their core is way better than the Packers.
100% right. What about you, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to, I hate to say it, but I'm going to go with the 49ers on this one. But I will say that this is my absolute fucking stone cold lock of the week, that the Green Bay Packers are getting plus 9.5 on this game. That is absolute insanity that they are a 10-point underdog. So I am going to take the Packers, but same thing as the Houston game. This is a lot closer than I think. And I think the Packers cover that 10-point spread with ease, if not win the game. But if I had to flip the coin and say who's going to win, I'm going to put it on the 49ers. I think they're going to ride McCaffrey into the ground. Outside of a McCaffrey injury, I do think the 49ers take this home.
Is he healthy, by the way? Does anybody know? Because he left the last game he played. And I know it's been 3 weeks, but you have to worry about that about Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
So
you do. I feel like if he was really in any detriment, we would have heard a little something more about it by now. But I mean, there's a chance. There's definitely a chance. So,
and
I agree.
Pick.
I'm taking the 49ers. I don't disagree that they choke in the playoffs, but it's not the first round.
I mean, it has been, but okay, fair enough. They're the best team in the NFL, what everyone says. So, but a lot of people. By the way, we didn't even mention, a lot of people said that Philly was the best team in the NFL at one point. So hey, Baker, you're getting this, buddy. Big Dick Baker, everybody. We didn't even mention that. That was what a
big shout out to that outstanding Philly defense for making me look like a champ for calling them fucking ass, because that is the fucking most awful defense. I know everybody is touting about how great that defense is. Y'all fucking suck. I don't know what it is. But it's like maybe you got too many superstars in the lineup, but like y'all fucking suck. It's
talk about
at this point.
Underperforming. Like their defense should have been fucking insane, and holy shit. All the talent they got on that defense.
Let me go through this too, because it hasn't been the first round that the 49ers have lost, by the way. 2022, they got to the conference championship. 2021, conference championship. 2019, Super Bowl. 2013, conference championship.
You're 10 years away. So
right, but I'm just going based on when they've made the playoffs.
Fair
so
enough.
22, 21, 19. They lost in conference championship, Super Bowl. So it hasn't been the first round of the playoffs.
So, well, this is the second round of the playoffs, first of all. And second of all, okay, so now they're going to lose in the second round of the playoffs, in my opinion. So, I mean, Kyle Shanahan can't get it done. He cannot get it done. But to be fair, neither can Mike, what the fuck's his name?
Mike McCarthy? Or,
no. What the fuck's his name?
Who are we talking about?
Are we talking about the Packers coach?
Yeah.
Matt LaFleur?
Matt LaFleur?
His brother is Mike LaFleur.
Yeah.
Matt LaFleur. He can't get it done either. So, I mean, it's the movable force meets the resistible object right now. So neither of these two teams can get it done. The only difference right now is actually there's two differences. The differences are Brock Purdy and Jordan Love, not fucking Jimmy Garoppolo and overrated Aaron Rodgers, right? So it's going to be a fun game.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see this. I honestly am. I'm excited to see this. So we'll move on to the next game on the schedule, and that is the aforementioned Big Dick Baker against the Detroit Lions. And this is going to be a fucking cool game. This is going to be a fun game. So Jay, you can start it off. What is your?
This is going to be my upset. I'm taking the Bucks.
Big Dick Baker.
I'm riding with Baker, man. He's slinging it. So
he is slinging it, but. I mean, everybody, you guys, you included, like the Lions. So, I mean, that's big. That's big on you, who's been riding the Lions.
I have a feeling that Dan Campbell's just going to fuck it up. So, I mean, he's going to do something stupid. So, I mean, and fucking Big Dick Baker's just going to be out there just dropping dimes like he's fucking Tom Brady all of a sudden.
Well, you got two former first overall draft picks who are on their, not on the teams that drafted them. They're both on a revenge tour, right? So it's interesting. And very similar teams. You got a couple of good receivers on each team between Laporta and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then of course you got the guys on Tampa Bay, and then you got a couple of like shifty running backs in White. And by the way, you guys must have loved, because you guys are big fans of Jahmyr Gibbs, that Jahmyr Gibbs, was fucking tearing it up and then never seen the field the rest of the game. I mean, I know Detroit won, but like still, like I remember that one drive in the end of the first quarter, he was doing great, and then I think he missed a block, and then I didn't see him the rest of the game. Basically, it was all David Montgomery. So, but that is Dan Campbell in the nutshell. So
he got the Sean McDermott treatment.
Mm-hmm, he totally did. Because I was going to text you guys. I was waiting to see, because you guys, all of you. When I say you guys, I'm talking about Jay and Adam for sure. Are big fans of Gibbs and big fans of Kyren Williams. You guys are big fans.
When the fuck did I ever say I like Gibbs?
Okay, I was a fan of Gibbs.
I never said I liked Gibbs.
And both of those running backs were ass that game. And so I think we're turned it up at the end.
To my defense, though, I did say that I liked him, but I also assumed that when Dan Campbell like traded up to actually get him, that he would have actually used him instead of being a dickhead and not using him. So
again, this is no slight on those. I'm not a big Kyren Williams guy. I mean, he did great with the fantasy football points. Gibbs is an electric talent, and he's
don't slander Kyren like that, bro.
I'm not a big Kyren Williams guy. It's just talking about talent on the field.
I won't stand for that on this podcast.
If we're talking about fantasy football, yeah, he's obviously gets you points.
Well, so like, Gibbs got points too.
Right, but he doesn't get used properly. Could you just imagine if Gibbs got used properly?
Kyren Williams does.
But that not this past game is what I'm saying. But Kyren Williams did. Kyren Williams came out of nowhere. He was a 5th-round draft pick, didn't do anything his rookie year, and all of a sudden tears up the league because he's got an offensive-minded, smart head coach that knows how to use him. So they trade up, get Jahmyr Gibbs, and don't fucking use the guy right for half the season. And then the guy comes in and does fairly well the second part of the season. And then they still just are like, at some points, just like, sit down, bruh. Get in there, Bumble Jr. And it just doesn't make any fucking sense.
The Bills do the same thing with fucking Cook. So
not anymore, thankfully.
I mean, sometimes they like to take them out for like an extended period of time, which is stupid.
So Jay's official pick was the Bucs. Yep. He's going with Big Dick Bake. What about you, Adam? What's your official pick?
I'm taking Baker Mayfield too, man. I thought he had an absolutely fantastic game against Philly. Very minimal mistakes. He did come in there with a purpose, and he fulfilled that purpose, and he bringing his team to the playoffs. He had an absolutely career year.
Yep.
Probably the best receivers he's ever had, and Mike Williams, Chris Godwin.
It's a tie. It's a tie with Jarvis Landry and it's a tie. I would say that's a tie. But
sure, fine, whatever. I'm pulling for Baker on this one. I liked Baker even when he was a Brown. The problem with the Browns was that they just didn't win games, even though he was a beast there too. But
Adam died. Adam died. Everybody, rest in peace.
He was just in a bad situation with the Browns. But give me Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Bucs are going to roll.
I think, and he's out there being Baker. Like he's not like he's just having a good time. His fucking swagger's back.
Adam, you died there, but Dave filled it in.
Sorry,
you just froze and disappeared. Dave, what's your official pick?
I was trying to grab my charger.
Yes. Yeah, this is going to be my upset.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I'm taking Tampa too. I'm sorry. If you really watch that game, Detroit and LA, I mean, they didn't look impressive. They really didn't, and they didn't win that game by a large margin. And they honestly had a chance. They honestly had a chance to lose that game.
Yep.
And I just think we know how Dan Campbell is. He's a veteran player, which means he's going to favor veteran players. So exactly like you said, Jahmyr Gibbs is going to like drop his towel on the ground by mistake, and then all of a sudden, like, no more fucking Jahmyr Gibbs for the rest of the game. Like, how dare you drop your towel?
He took a breath too close to Dan Campbell. He was Dan Campbell can't have his air taken away.
No, Gibbs is going to go on a 15-yard run instead of a 1-yard run, and he's going to be like, "I told you to only run for 1 yard."
I love it. I got you. You guys used to be Dan Campbell fans. So welcome to the team. Thank you. Sorry, Dave. Go on.
And that Tampa Bay defense is better than advertised. It really is.
Yeah.
So I think they show up on this game, and you know, as much as you want, like, as much as you want a Cinderella story, right? Eventually, you can only ride it for so long, and I just think right now is not the time for Detroit. I just don't think right now is the time.
Same.
A Cinderella story for Detroit. I mean, they won the division. They won the first round of the play. Is that the Cinderella story, or is the Cinderella story more like the Texans and the Brown or the Packers with their rookie quarterback and their first year quarterback? You know what I mean? Is that more the Cinderella story?
I think if you really look at it, like the Cinderella story is really Tampa Bay making it after not being given any credit or any chances or anything like that. But I mean, I think the feel good Cinderella story is like, this is finally the time for Detroit, and I hate to say it, I just don't feel it. I just don't feel it that this is the time for them.
They won to break the drought. So I mean, yeah.
Well, the Rams should have won that game. Matt Stafford got 2 roughing the passer plays in a row that the refs decided to swallow their
fucking smoked.
So the refs were incompetent, which never happens. The fact that Eminem has taken such pride in Detroit, and the fact that Taylor Swift's taken so much pride in Kansas City is very scary for the NFL. For the NFL fans. So that being said, as much as I hate Dan Campbell, as much as I think Detroit's a bit overrated. It's Detroit wins this game, and that's where I'm going. And nothing against Baker. I've been pro Baker my whole career too. When the 2018 draft, if you looked at my draft board, number 1 is Baker Mayfield, number 2 is Josh Allen, number 3 is Lamar Jackson, and I was right, at least over Darnold and Rosen. Obviously, Josh Allen's had the better career, but I loved Baker coming out of college. So I also love Josh, and I love Lamar. So that was like a big draft for me. But I've always been a big Baker Mayfield fan. But I think it comes to an end here. I think
a Maker Bayfield.
Yeah, I think the NFL wants Detroit to do well. So I'm setting up for an NFC North NFC Championship with Detroit and the Packers. So that's what I went for. So let's go for. We're not going to pick those games. We'll pick them next week. Oh, by the way, our preseason picks are all dead. Everybody. Well, not like
pretty much
Super Bowl camps, but the actual Super Bowl. Mine, Adams, and Dave's were all the Buffalo Bills and the Dallas Cowboys, right? I believe.
Yep.
And
I think so.
Cowboys lost. Jay's, I believe, had the Chargers, so he was out a long time ago.
I have no idea what I picked. So
yeah,
I mean, you could.
I actually don't remember either, but I do remember picking the Cowboys. I think so.
The 3 of us had the same Super Bowl. The Cowboys blew it. I'm pretty sure Jay.
I knew the Cowboys were going to choke, so I didn't pick them.
Pretty sure Jay had like the Chargers and the Niners or something. So we're all dead. We all lost that. But let's talk about the big game of the week, the one that is destined for the first time in his history. Baby boy Patrick Mahomes and fucking football princess Taylor Swift are coming in to Orchard Park, New York. Not the first time in Patrick's career, but the first time Patrick's career ever is having an away playoff game. This fucking spoiled little princess, and to be fair to Patrick Mahomes, he's great, and he's always had home field advantage. So, that's what it is. He's always had home field advantage. Well, guess what? Fucking
Kermit the Frog here.
You don't have home field advantage this year. You have to roll into Buffalo, and you have to beat the Bills, who beat you at your house this year, who beat you at your house last year. So, and to be fair, Patrick Mahomes has beat the Bills in the playoffs 2 out of 3 years. And the only reason that he didn't beat the Bills in the playoffs the third year is because Joe Burrow beat us first, and then he would have beat us. So I mean, it is what it is. So they're on different trajectories. The Bills and I'll give it to the Packers as well. The hottest teams in the NFL. The Buffalo Bills and I'll say the Packers are the hottest teams in the NFL, but we're focused on the Bills right now. The Bills are on a 6 or 7. What is it? 6-game win streak now? 6-game win streak. I mean, is this the year? Is this the time at some point they are going to pull that monkey off the back and take out Kermit in the playoffs? And I'm going to tell you, as much as I shit on everything, I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to pull the monkey off the back and the Bills win this game. And as much as I shit on the Bills, they are very evenly matched teams. Each team has one elite option, one up-and-coming option. They have Kelsey. We have Diggs, who, by the way, Diggs lately, I'm sorry, I love the guy. He is on the verge of washed up, but he's still considered an elite option. He is never open. They're force-feeding him the ball. They're force-feeding him the ball with fucking screens behind the yard of scrimmage, and he gets some yardage, and it's not terrible. But we can still consider Diggs an elite option. And by the way, their elite option is Kelsey, who is kind of lately. So, I mean, they're kind of similar there. They have up-and-coming options. They have Rashee Rice. We have Dalton Kincaid. So they kind of worship themselves out there. And then they both have young, up-and-coming second-year running backs with Lazeo Pacheco and James Cook, and they both have pretty stout defenses. So if it comes down to a game that's close, I don't know what to say. I hope the Bills blow them out. I mean, there's a very good chance that Sean McDermott gets out-coached because, he normally does. But it seems like, for me, Patrick Mahomes has had a tough time with Sean McDermott's defense. And the defense is playing great. It doesn't fucking matter who you fucking put in there. Everybody, Terrell Dotson's playing amazing. He goes out, and then all of a sudden A.J. Klein looks like he's a fucking Pro Bowler coming off his fucking couch. So it doesn't fucking matter. Sean McDermott's defense right now, it doesn't matter who you put fucking in there. Goddamn Kyron, whatever Elam, turns around, he gets fucking ran over, he gets pass interference, and then he fucking turns around and somehow the ball falls in his hand to save that game and get us an interception. Everything is working well for Sean McDermott's defense, and I think they finally take out the Kings of the AFC, and the Bills win this one. So who wants to take next?
I'll go next because I agree with everything you said, except for I want to throw one more player in there for the Bills, and that's Khalil Shakir. I think the guy is really come on this season. I think he needs to be used more. I think that is going to give us the edge in this game, but I also agree that the Chiefs have to come to Buffalo for the first time in the playoffs, and I think that gives us a really big advantage. So I agree. I think the Bills are going to take this one, and I'm not saying it's going to be a bad game or a close game because it's probably going to be a close game like they all are. I'm going the Bills, man, and I just want to give them the slight edge. And yeah, I mean, as a Bills fan, and yes, we did do a lot of shitting on the Bills this season, especially on the podcast, but
deserved, well deserved.
Yeah, 100% deserved. Like, I mean, there was games that we shouldn't have won that we somehow won, and there's games that we shouldn't have lost that we lost. I do agree that they are one of the hottest teams going into the playoffs, right? They're on a nice win streak. They've been playing really good football. Limiting the mistakes is really the key for me. Josh Allen had a great game protecting the football. He had a very nice run against Pittsburgh, scored that long 50-yarder or whatever it was.
That's the play of his career right now, I would say.
Yeah, it was awesome to watch. It was awesome to see. I give the edge to the Bills this week, and the only reason being is if we were in Kansas City, I would say Kansas City, but they're coming to Buffalo this year. So give me the Bills.
Okay, very, very good. All right, Jay, you take it.
I'm going with the Bills too. I think this is the year to do it if we're going to do it. We might have to sacrifice someone to the pit in order to beat the Mahomes, but it's also.
Don't you worry, someone is going to be sacrificed.
We can sacrifice Taylor Swift in the pit for all I care, but the refs that are going to be reffing this game, the Chiefs are like 8-2, so it's not great. But I don't know if Diggs is necessarily washed up. I don't think Kelsey's necessarily washed up. I think that teams are just focusing on them because we don't have any. They're making us beat them with other options. So I think they're just, like double teaming Diggs, and they're forcing us to go to someone else, and they're gonna if we're gonna beat a team, they're gonna have us do it with not Diggs. So, but yeah, I'm going with the Bills.
All right, and Dave, Mr. Casual Bills,
yeah, the casual Bills fan,
Mr. Casual Bills fan. You guys like my cup, by the way?
I noticed it, and I didn't want to say anything.
Dave's on the bandwagon now.
I'm gonna go with the Bills too, and you guys touched on all the key points, and I think one thing that we got to talk about is just, you can say what you want about Kansas City. They don't have great wide receivers, but whatever. There's something going on. There's just a different feel about Kansas City this year, that they just don't feel as dominant as they once were. And I do think the Bills take this game, but I do want to say one thing. This needs to be the game where Sean McDermott grows some fucking balls and steps on the throat of the Kansas City Chiefs. Because if you guys watched that last game against the Steelers, we went up big. And then in the third quarter, you could tell McDermott was going back to his old ways of, we're trying to run clock, we're trying to play safe defense, and they let the Steelers back into the game. It wasn't crazy, like I was super worried, but they did let them back into the game. And it's like, if you want to let Mason Rudolph back into the game, that's one thing. But if you fucking let Patrick Mahomes back into the game, that's a totally different story. And I think this really needs to be the game where Sean McDermott fucking sacks up and doesn't worry about playing soft and just playing the game all the way through 4 quarters, 110%, and fucking taking it to the Chiefs. Yeah. You cannot let Patrick Mahomes back in this game if the Bills get out to a lead early. And I really hope that he finally fucking sacks up, and this is the game where we absolutely just destroy the Chiefs.
Agreed. Nothing aggravated me more than being at that game and watching us go into prevent defense before fucking halftime, just because we were up a couple scores, and it was like, what the fuck are we doing?
But to be fair, Sean McDermott, he was right. We won by 14 points.
Yeah, but still, I mean, we were just giving them everything before even halftime. I mean, Jesus Christ.
If you look at the final score of that game, it looks like a bigger blowout than it actually was. Don't forget we scored that last touchdown in garbage time.
That is true.
It was a lot closer. I mean, at one point, I believe it was a 1-score game. It was an 8-point game at one point. Yeah, and we came out 21-0, and then all of a sudden, Mason Rudolph has a chance to tie it up, and it's like, what the fuck happened, dude? Like, what the fuck happened?
They have to be on top of their game. One thing I want to go before we move on or sign off or whatever we're doing is I just want to bring something Adam said into I don't want to say question, because I like Khalil Shakir, but Adam said it, and Bills Mafia is super hyped for Khalil Shakir the exact same way they were for Gabe Davis 3 years ago.
Not me.
And it's just like let's
but Gabe Davis hasn't done anything. At least Khalil Shakir has done something.
Do you know his stats for the year?
I mean, he wasn't used. Gabe Davis, they tried to use him, and he just wasn't good.
No, we're talking about Gabe Davis of 2022. Gabe Davis of 2020 was where Khalil Shakir is now. Everyone's simping out over him, and everyone was simping out over Gabe Davis of 2020 as well. So, it's just I want Khalil Shakir to be good, of course. I don't want the Bills fans to go into the offseason being like, we're good. We have Khalil Shakir. We don't need to bring in another receiver. We can't have that mentality, because we had that mentality with Gabe Davis. Khalil Shakir, I believe, had less than 40 catches this year, less than 800 yards. He played a fine role. I think Khalil Shakir as your number 3 or 4 is fantastic. I don't think Khalil Shakir is an NFL number 2. I mean, we're talking about offseason stuff right now. If the Bills go into this offseason and go, we don't need any help at receiver, we have Khalil Shakir. That's exactly what they did with Gabe Davis 3 years ago, and look what that did for us. These guys are both 4th and 5th round picks. It's just maybe one of them, could break out, but it's a very similar like scenario with the Bills fans and the third string receiver in this past few years, and it's just giving me like fucking flashbacks of when everybody was Gabe Davis simping. That's what it is.
I mean,
that's
people
all
only like Gabe Davis though because like he has like 3 big games a year and they're huge games, but
Khalil Shakir, like if we take it at aspect again, this is not demeaning Khalil Shakir. We're simping over Khalil Shakir as Bills fans. What did he have this last week? 3 receptions for 30 yards and a touchdown. You know what I mean? It's like he's great. We need to use him more. His speed is fantastic. But I don't think he's your answer at your number 2 wide receiver.
Oh, no.
I never said he was an answer.
He's a number 3.
I never said that.
For sure.
Yeah, what I was saying is they need to use him more. And I think because we have him on the team, that gives us the edge over the Kansas City Chiefs.
And I'm desperate, honestly. As much as everyone hates him, we need Gabe Davis back to be that top off the defense because we had no vertical passing game this week. There was nothing down the field. And even if you don't throw to Gabe Davis, him opening up those lanes is what you need. And when he comes back, I don't care if Gabe Davis ends this game with 0 reception. I don't care. He needs to be out there stretching the defense, and Gabe Davis is the best blocking wide receiver we have. And this is probably going to be a shitty weather game. We're going to run the ball. And we need all the help we can get with blocking. It's tough in that scenario. So I hope Gabe Davis is back. I hope our injuries, I hope Rasul Douglas is back. You know, it doesn't look like Dotson's coming back. We'll have to see. So it's interesting. You know, we're all Bills fans here, and Dave's a casual Bills fan drinking out of his Bills mind.
We put up enough points without Gabe, so I'm not that worried if he's not playing.
I don't care if I don't care. He needs to be out there. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers are different teams, and we need.
Oh, I 100% agree, and I said this at work today too. We were talking about the Bills. We need Gabe Davis back, and I will agree with that because we do need that big down the field, take the top off the defense guy, so we can get our guys underneath open. So I will definitely agree with that.
But no one fears Gabe though. So I mean, does it really matter if they're not going to fear him?
But does people fear Khalil Shakir right now? No.
No, so they're also not really focusing on him.
Right. They're in the same boat. You know, it is what it is. So we're all picking the Bills to win. So for me, the AFC Championship game is the Bills and the Ravens. And the NFC Championship game is the Lions and the Packers. That's disgusting.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my God! Well, your brother's hype or something over there.
He's playing Madden. He thinks he's the best.
Tell him to take me on. So, all right. Well, do you guys have any? Jay, anyone have any get dunked on or anything?
I don't. I had one and then I lost it.
No, it's fine. We're
I totally had one and then I lost it.
We're 70 minutes in the podcast, so I mean we're good. We can end it here. Let's see, what happens this week. Of course, go Bills, of course, but like interesting. This is the most interesting week of the season for me because so many different things could happen. You could literally have the Bills and the Ravens in the AFC Championship game, or you could have the Bills and the Texans in the championship game, or you could have the Chiefs and the Ravens in the AFC Championship game, or you could have the Chiefs and the who's the Texans playing? Drawing a blank.
The Texans are playing Baltimore.
Okay, well, I'm just saying you have so many different options for the AFC Championship game and the NFC Championship game. It's such a big week. It's so fun. This is like my favorite week of the season. There's so many different things. So make sure you guys are getting your bets out there, playing your daily. You heard our picks. Be smart of the spreads. I won a lot of money this past few weekends just because I'm smart with the spreads lately, and not in my. I played some parlays, but didn't win. But like, it is what it is. Jay, did you make any bets this year or no? You're still out.
I don't bet.
All right, we'll get you someday. We'll get you someday. So
we gotta. Let's
it's a slippery slope.
Place a $25 bet for Jay. Let's just place a $25 bet for Jay, just so he gets a little taste. We just got to get his feet wet, and then he'll be a degenerate. With the rest of
he does. 100%.
By the way, bet in the off season. Like I make a bet every year at the end of the Super Bowl. So like last year, the Chiefs just beat the Eagles, And about an hour after the game, the lines opened, and I made a bet for the Super Bowl champion to be the Buffalo Bills. So I'm still alive on that bet. That bet will win me like $600 on a, I think it was $100 or $50 bet. So because it's an off-season bet. So what I do for all you people in the off-season is when the Super Bowl ends, the odds open up. So make a bet on the team you think is going to win. For me, it was the Bills. Then you make a bet on a team that could make a huge move, because once a huge move happens, then odds change, right? So the bet I made was the Raiders. I was thinking at that point the Raiders might get Aaron Rodgers, get him with Devontae Adams, blah, blah, blah. So that's always my plan of attack. At the end of the Super Bowl, bet next year's odds on the team you think is going to win and some team that's a huge odds difference that you think could make the jump. Like imagine if you bet on the Buccaneers if you bet on the Buccaneers in February of 2023, right? And somehow the Buccaneers win. You could fucking make that bet. Your $50 bet could be worth like $3,000.
Imagine if you bet on Houston. I mean, you could.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So that's the kind of shit you need to just think. Just so at the end of the year, that's my advice for bettors. Take $100, put $50 on the team you think is going to win, just where you're at now. It could even be the defending champs, because the odds are always higher at the end of the season like that. And then just think hard of a team that has a good roster that could make the jump. Right, and then that's how I always bet. I just bet on the Bills and the Raiders this year. It didn't happen for me. I was just leaning on that Aaron Rodgers scenario. Next year, who's that scenario going to be? Is it going to be the Kirk Cousins, sweepstakes? Is it going to be Is it going to be you expecting, say, Anthony Richardson to make a big jump in that shitty division, right, and make something happen? Are you expecting Nick Chubb to come back healthy, and will the Browns, right? So that just start thinking about your bets now, everybody at home, for next year, because this is when you need to think about it. Make a smaller bet. $50 isn't going to break you, but you can turn that $50 into like $6,000 if it's somebody like out of the blue, say like the Buccaneers this year or something crazy like that, and you can cash those bets out. But if you bet on the Buccaneers to win the Super Bowl last year in February, you could probably cash that $50 bet out for a couple hundred right now, wouldn't you think, Dave?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you took the Texans, so you could cash that out for a couple hundred right now.
So that's my advice to all the gamblers out there. I'm not a big gambler as these guys, but like play something safe and play something outlandish. But put your thoughts behind it. Just don't go play fucking Arizona because they have the worst odds. You know what I mean? Like, if Aaron Rodgers went to the Raiders at the beginning of this year, there's a chance, at the beginning of this year, that the Raiders could do some noise, right? It is what it is. So, like, think about that for next year. Just think that Kirk Cousins, like we said, goes to Atlanta, or Kirk Cousins goes to, I don't know. Atlanta's the one that Washington he goes back to Washington. I don't know. That division's a mess. We would never think that Baker Mayfield is playing to get in the NFC Championship game right now, right? So, like, that's just the way you have to think about it. So, you guys got anything else? Jay, got anything else you want to say?
No, I'm good.
All right, you're going to the game, right? You ready to bring your shovel and dig yourself out?
I ain't taking my. It better be done before season ticket holders, man.
Do you just like know where your seats are? You just like stood there. You didn't brush them off or anything. You just
our seats.
Amount of snow.
Our seats were actually like pretty like decently cleaned out. So I mean, so we could.
Well, don't you pay?
They got to your seats before they told them to not do the seats anymore.
Yeah, probably.
Nice.
Don't you pay for the extra like cushion?
Yeah, we have
seats?
the cushion. Yeah.
So the bill pay for just the normal bench seats, or you can pay extra and they'll put like a $5 cushion on there, and you can pay like an extra $200 or something.
No, it's only like $50 for the whole season.
Okay, so that's not
better than sitting on fucking cold ass metal. So
I'm for sure of that. All right, well, thank you for joining us, Jay. Adam, you got anything to say?
I'm good, man. Just stay safe up there because I know that snow sucks. we had, a lot of casualties last year, and I don't want to see that again or hear about that again. So if you are planning on going out there to shovel your snow, just take shifts, do it, take as long as you need to, stay warm.
To be fair to the city of Buffalo and stuff, for the blizzard we had last year, we lost almost 50 lives. A lot of it was shoveling. A lot of it was people in their cars. This year so far, the report number was 3 people. Yep. So that's a lot. That's a much better improvement. People with the travel bans, then all 3 people that unfortunately passed away were what Adam said, shoveling and stuff. But that's just going to happen. It's just going to happen. You're out there shoveling snow. That's not the city's fault.
Yeah, it was like two people died shoveling. Well, one was snowblowing, one was shoveling, and then one person was a hit and run.
So again, none of that's really the city's fault. Last year, the fucking city's fault. But this year, not so bad. All right. So Dave, whatever your name is, you got anything? You got anything else to say?
Go ahead and hammer that Packers line plus 9.5. That's a fucking gift right there.
And then you've been doing some content.
What's up?
You've been doing some content for what? What have you been doing content for? What is your fucking
for what?
Promote your fucking podcast, asshole.
Yeah, the Let's Talk Nerdy. Guys, if you guys like some nerdy shit, check out the Let's Talk Nerdy podcast. We're on YouTube, Spotify, anywhere you can type in Let's Talk Nerdy. Go ahead and do that. Tons of content going out there. It's been crazy watching the shit grow. It's been going pretty crazy, and we'd be more than happy to have you check it out. So thank you if you guys jumped over and gave it a chance. And if you haven't, check it out. Super appreciate you.
Absolutely. Dave and Adam, not this Adam, Nerd Adam. Dave and Nerd Adam's podcast is doing really well, and it's a great view. And honestly, I've gotten some news and some releases from you guys that I didn't even know what happened. So, just being honest here, I'll expect a check in the mail, but I have no. But seriously, like I don't remember what it was, but you posted something. I was like, that's coming out, kind of thing. So
let's go. You heard it first on Let's Talk Nerdy podcast. Let's go.
Absolutely, 100%. And I'm sure Dave will, after Adam keeps begging, we'll be back on there at some point.
I keep asking. I haven't got an answer yet.
And of course,
you boys are welcome anytime.
And of course,
let's keep it going, man. Best game of every system. Come on now.
Such a big undertaking.
Don't spill the ideas. Don't spill the idea until we launch it, bro.
That is such a big undertaking.
We can edit it out.
And of course, yeah, okay, sure.
Chaz doesn't do editing anymore.
I forgot.
I want to say that I'm back on Chaz's Rock Record Review. We're just coming off of a week of Andrew WK. The newest releases of a friend of the All Bets Are Off podcast, Robbie Vegas. Chris Jericho's band Fozzy is the release of Judas is our current episode, and our next episode is one of my favorite bands of all time, Iron Maiden Peace of Mind. So check out the Iron Maiden Peace of Mind, listen to it, and join me for the review, guys, and enjoy it. And, thank you for joining us. And until then, we will see you next time, guys. Peace.
See you later, guys.
Later, boys.
Later, guys.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.